everybody, welcome to Get Busy Watching. I'm your host, Honest Dan. Let's talk movies. They're still making them. They're still making them.
They ask you how you are, and you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine.
Why? Okay, rapid fire on the Jurassic Park franchise. Nope, no, we're skipping this one. It's the undisputed best one. We all know this. This is facts. Let's keep things rolling. I think this is underrated. Quite a bit of dumb here and there, sure. Taking a baby Rex and not accounting for its parents hunting for it, gymnastics raptor kill, and that ending was 30 minutes of pure campy padding that didn't need to exist. Except this death. That's just awesome. Oh, and that was the writer for the film, by the way, so even if you didn't like Lost World, well, he got his comeuppance in spades. But there was a whole lot more awesome to help balance it out. These were early works that made me a fan of Vince Vaughn. Peter Postlethwaite was instant goated, R.I.P. Peter Postlethwaite, and Julianne Moore became one of my earliest and longest lasting celebrity crushes, right up there with Nicole Kidman, Elizabeth Hurley, and Saffron Burrows. Only to all be dethroned by Kate Beckinsale in 2003. That leather-clad vampire bitch. Damn, I'm thirsty. Back on track. The stampede scene was awesome, the Rex chase in the jungle, and don't go into the long grass! Not into the long grass! There's just so much that I really like about the movie, so any hate thrown its way, I will fight you. I doubt I'll win, but I'll fight you. This was so divisive. On the one hand, I love that Sam Neill is back as Alan Grant. I mean, best character in the JP franchise next to Ian Malcolm. Argue with me, and I'll see you in the ring. And I won't lie, I think the Spinosaurus was cool. And all the lore and cut content surrounding the resident Egypticus made me appreciate the dino a bit more. I'm in the minority because the common person wouldn't know about the cut content and lore. Long story short, the three guys with the rifles, they go into the jungle, they see a herd of Spinosauruses. One of them, a baby Spino grabs the guy's arm, and they kill that baby Spino. The parent Spino sees that and then pursues them. That's why it's chasing everyone, all these humans around the jungle, because it's a vengeful parent. But as is, the Pteranodon scene, the T-Rex versus the Spino, and the river barge attack, totally great scenes. But the Kirby's are lame. Except for Téa Leoni. Although, goddammit, Téa, you coulda shut up once in a while.
What is it?
Quiet.
And also, as soon as Alan happened, yeah, you fucking lost me. Did you know that it's a callback to when Alan was asking that parrot in the beginning of the movie if his name was Alan? You get it? Because bird and raptors are birds? You get it? No one fucking cares! Again, I think this is underrated. I love the realization of Jurassic Park. We see a bit of it, not enough, but hey. Bryce Dallas Howard, instant crush. Chris Pratt, always fun. And the Indominous Rex was a cool idea, if not a wonky design. I really hate these choices when they make the mouths open like snakes. The pterosaur attack on the crowd and the three-way brawl between the Indo-Rex, Rexy, and Blue the Raptor was awesome. Yeah, I didn't think the romance between Owen and Claire was necessary. The new park didn't have two brain cells to rub together in order to deal with these dinosaurs escaping. And who the hell casts Judy Greer in their movie and does absolutely nothing with her? This blew dino chunks. It retroactively made the stupidity of World even more brain dead. Even if the Indo-Rex never escaped and caused havoc, none of this would matter because the volcano they built the park around was about to erupt anyway. Exactly how many years of business would the park have had before losing all of it? There is so little to enjoy outside of Bryce's much improved hair. The tidbits of having Ian Malcolm were welcomed, if not pointless. And I do appreciate the slight exploration of Owen's relationship with Blue and the other raptors and why they respected him as the alpha. But that bullshit at the end with that little girl who was a clone of a scientist's dead daughter. Okay, this in of itself is actually not the worst idea. But when she unleashes the dinos on the general populace, all because
they're alive, like me.
I just cringed into the 9th dimension. Oh my god, this movie sucks! But it can't possibly get any worse than this. Right? God damn it. I genuinely couldn't tell you which is worse. Dinos in the real world should have been awesome, but it really wasn't. The Avengers Assembled nature of bringing in all the main characters, Alan Grant, Ellie Sattler, and Ian Malcolm, alongside the new World cast was contrived as all hell. Some of the action scenes belong in the short bus. The atrocious directing of Claire getting chased by raptors on that rooftop. Are you kidding me? Guys, y'all, I'm crushing on Bryce. But if you want me to buy her as an action girl, she needs way more time with her personal trainer. Quit pushing her as one. It ain't working. Check out Amazon's Deep Cover. That actually worked out really well for her. I actually didn't mind that the main bad monster this go around was giant locusts, which, as I understand it, is one of the contributing factors in the extinction of dinosaurs, despite kind of getting dropped later in the movie. In that scene where Claire avoids the blind dinosaur, do you think he saw us? That was a good scene, but everything else was fucking trash.
Jurassic World? Not a fan.
Best line in the entire movie, thank you, Jeff Goldblum. As you can probably tell, I wasn't exactly excited for this one. It didn't even look or feel like a Jurassic Park movie. You could have called it anything. Monster Island, and I never would have guessed this belonged in Jurassic Park. And the World franchise only ever got worse as time went on. So I'm not filled with confidence here, guys, but whatever, it's here. I gotta see it, I gotta pass an opinion, so here we go. This is my honest opinion of Jurassic World Rebirth. Zora Bennett, played by Scarlett Johansson, is a mercenary recruited by Martin Klebs, played by Rupert Friend, to take him and scientist Dr. Henry Loomis, played by Jonathan Bailey, to a secret island that the original Jurassic Park used to create their dinosaurs, and dumped those that didn't turn out right. Also, they can extract DNA to conjure up pharmaceutical medicine. Gathering a team together, they set out to this island, pick up a family that was attacked by a mosasaur, and end up shipwrecked on the island and must survive until help arrives.
I can guarantee your safety. I mean, more or less.
More or less?
Yep, this is one big heaping pile of dino dookie. I genuinely couldn't tell you if this is better or worse than any of the later Jurassic World sequels. Cause goddammit, there is some incompetent writing here. Let's start with the characters. This might be a bias against her, but I am no fan of ScarJo. Yes, she has churned out some great performances in the past. Jojo Rabbit, Marriage Story, yes, phenomenal. But she's also done Lucy and Ghost in the Shell. I know, it's sacrilegious to not like Lucy for some reason. But I don't like a lot of movies that a lot of people like, so get over it. This is somewhere in the middle. Not her best, but not her worst. Though her very existence improves one aspect over the entire World series as a whole. I at least believe ScarJo is built like an action girl. If you were to ask me who I think is most likely gonna outrun a raptor, I well, I wouldn't bet on either of them. But Zora surviving is more believable than Claire ever was. As for what she's all about, she's implied to have some kind of tragic backstory, but it's never developed. As a result, I never cared about her. She's the bland hero of the story. The script tries to hint at a budding romance between her and Dr. Loomis, but this went nowhere and meant absolutely nothing. And what's with these world movies needing a romance in these active life or death situations? This pissed me off royally. Ed Skrein was in this, and he doesn't stick around. He's set up to be the resident asshole of the group, which is sweet. Skrein plays an asshole like raptors are clever girls. This should be fun. He dies before he even gets to the island. How dare this movie? They killed off the hottest character. Chibi Pool said so, and Chibi Pool's word is law. But seriously, he gets eaten by a newly designed Spinosaurus. So it's basically during that heavily marketed boat scene where they're squaring off with the mosasaur. But what a waste of great talent. Instead of having one asshole in the group, this could have had two. Oh, but of course, the one and only side dish character that makes it through is the other black guy who only speaks French. Yes, this guy is gonna steal the show. Not the filthy white dude with actual charisma. We can't have that. This is a Jurassic World movie. We don't deserve nice things. What are you, an idiot? Okay, we are allowed Mahershala Ali. That's a nice slice of chocolate cake. While I don't think Duncan is all that great of a character, at least not until the ending, but his sheer presence and commanding of the screen makes his tragic backstory a lot more heart-wrenching and later scenes a lot more rewarding. But then we have the Hispanic family. Dude, this drove me up the fucking walls. This family is just the absolute worst. Okay, so their whole thing is that this dad is taking his two daughters out on his boat, along with his teen daughter's boyfriend, who is the comic relief. Yeah, sure, whatever you say, movie. I find more comedy in Ian Malcolm explaining chaos theory. Anyway, this setup is stupid. The waters they're roaming around in, Daddy-O knows it's infested with dinosaurs and is a zone that's illegal to be in. And his justification for thinking he could get away with this is, apparently, there's a lot of boats around that don't get in trouble, even though we, the audience, never see another boat. And his justification for putting his children in danger?
What I mean is,
They don't even stick with the mercenary group. They all separate and the family goes on its own little trek through the jungle, which has no bearing on the actual characters we're supposed to follow. The river raft scene? Padding. Also, why is this perfectly fine T-Rex considered a reject? The boyfriend is about to be eaten by raptors. They looked perfectly fine. Why were they considered rejects? I don't understand. What about this baby dinosaur that the little girl has to bring around? Merchandising opportunity, most likely, but in story, useless. I don't know if you're catching on to what I'm very subtly pointing out, but this Hispanic family contributes absolutely fucking nothing. I'm calling it right now. I'm placing a bet. The only reason they exist in this movie at all is for diversity points. Points lost, because that's called tokenism. And as a Hispanic person, that offends me way more than a predominantly white cast, which has never offended me. Where is my coffee? The boyfriend doesn't die. That was offensive. Speaking of offensive, all this hype generated around the distorted Rex does nothing. Okay, the movie starts promising with the research facility breaking down and the D-Rex kills a dude. Gareth Edwards directing, fantastic, making things feel huge and imposing. Of course, the fact that everything went to shit because of a chocolate wrapper is terrible writing. Not Gareth's problem, of course, more on that later, but yeah, Beluga Head doesn't show up in the movie again until the climax. It does one cool thing and that's it. The T-Rex in the OG wasn't a main character per se, but it had such a great build-up. an iconic intro, an equally iconic car chase, and, well, a Deus Ex Machina ending, but still damned iconic. But no one could figure out what to do with this abomination. You know, what they should have done, they should have gotten rid of the Hispanic family and changed those scenes to the main group dealing with the freak Rex to establish a rivalry. I can't believe I'm about to say this, but say what you want about 3 and World. They made their super predators feel like legitimate threats. Screen time matters, folks. And this Fucktosaurus Rex is not a threat. It is going to be as forgotten as the Indoraptor from Fallen Kingdom. What about the actual story? Is that any better? The whole thing is they need DNA from 3 different dinos to cure heart disease, like I said before. A mosasaur, a long neck, and a not pteranodon. Fine. Titanosaur and... oh, fuck you. Quetzalcoatlus. Oh. Actually, that makes a whole lot of sense now that I'm actually looking at the word. Look, guys, when you throw in a Q and a Z in the same word, it's gonna throw my brain off. Anyway, fine. There's a clear objective, let's get going. However, this is where the writing fails big time. It's a clearly defined morally right and wrong type of messaging. Since Dr. Loomis works for a big pharmaceutical company that will create this cure, but only sell it to those who can afford it, whereas Loomis would prefer it to be for everyone. That's great and all, but the writing feels like it's patting itself on the back for coming to this conclusion. What is so marvelous about the writing in the OG is that it does take a firm stance against rampant, unchecked science. But you understand what the intentions are. The glitz, the glam, seeing dinosaurs for the first time. It's easy to get swept up in the majesty of what's been accomplished. But once things start nestling into the noggin for a bit, the reality starts seeping in. What does playing with nature like this mean? What are the consequences? But take this thing. Okay, it takes a stance against Big Pharma. Well, the world already stands against it, outside of the 1%, which, who cares about what they think? Yes, we all want cheaper medicine. No one likes that things are rigged the way that they are. So, what's the solution to that? Just a bland-ass platitude and a pat on our own heads? Why not go into it deeper? Without this company, we can't make the cure at all. Sure, only a few people will get it, but at least it exists, and maybe some over-the-counter knockoff can be made to be more affordable. Tylenol versus Vicodin, know what I'm saying? But if you don't give the company the DNA samples, then where are you gonna go to get a cure made? What medical manufacturer out there has the resources of this multi-billion-dollar company, can get approved by the FDA and all that jazz? If it's a hopeless cause, which it kind of feels like it is, then everyone who just came with you on this excursion died for nothing. And so long as you're on this island, you'll die for nothing. And that's just off the top of my head. I'm not a smart guy, but I feel like I just challenged the audience better than this movie did. Okay, I can't believe I'm saying this, but take Dominion. That was a dumb fuck movie, but I don't think it was trying to be smart. It knew what it was and wasn't trying to be anything else. Take 3, for example. That was a dumb fuck movie. It was not trying to be smart. It kind of succeeded in being smart thanks to the immortal line of,
some of the worst things imaginable have been done with the best intentions.
But this is trying to have a brain, but it's a kindergarten brain. If this movie was written by kindergartners, that would be impressive. But it's written by the guy who wrote the first movie. I got nothing, y'all. I understand that this franchise, which is so freaking stale, it needed to try something new. But you know what would have been really new? A good script. Just throwing that out there. Haven't seen that in a Jurassic Park sequel yet. But now the real question must be asked. Is this the worst Jurassic World sequel? So, I mean, let's really think about it. For me anyway, Fallen Kingdom retroactively made Jurassic World even worse, and I still kind of like that one. Dominion is I would say objectively more incompetently written and directed, but it felt way more self-contained in its stupidity. Definitely worse than 3, but that's just because that movie had great filmmaking techniques. It had real animatronics and sympathy points from me for the cut content that would have made it better. But as for Rebirth, yeah, if it ain't the worst it's trying to be, and I'm having a hard time saying it's not. It's bad. It's really bad. My honest rating for Jurassic World Rebirth, a 2 out of 5.
It's dinosaurs. They may be through with us, but we're not through with them.
Thanks so much for watching, you guys. I really appreciate it. Hit that like or dislike button. All engagement is welcomed. Subscribe to the channel for more reviews. And as always, have a great day, stay safe and healthy out there, and hope to see you soon.